thank you for joining me for day 11 of December daily. I am once again using Bree's prompt from Documented Journey for Create December 2018. Today's prompt is facts, and I have decided to write about traditional Austrian Christmas traditions. So I decided to make a pocket out of today's spread, and I am using as a background paper for the back side of the pocket. I'm using some German book page from a children's book, and I wanted to have German text because I'm talking about Austrian traditions. So I have started just by gluing that on the back side and inking the edges. And next I'm going to also ink the pocket itself. And then I will just glue that down. And I think the rest is pretty self-explanatory of what I'm doing. So instead of talking about what I'm doing, I would like to go into some of the Austrian Christmas traditions. So we have some traditions which are the same as in Germany, given that we are their neighbor. It's like the big brother of Austria, and but we do have some of our own. And the first one I want to talk about is Advent. So Advent is the 4 weeks before Christmas Eve, and most people have Advent wreaths made from evergreen twigs, and they are decorated with ribbons and 4 candles, and each Sunday before Christmas, so the 4 Sundays before Christmas, you light 1 candle. So the first Sunday you would light 1 candle, on the second Sunday 2, and so on until you have 4 candles lit by Christmas Eve. Most towns in Austria also have a so-called Christkindlmarkt, which is the Christmas market, and they start from late November or early December at the latest, and you can find all kinds of handmade, mostly Christmas decorations, and of course food. And we have Glühwein, which is the sweet warm mulled wine. And so in Vienna, where I live, I don't know how many exactly we have, but there are a lot of beautiful Christmas markets all over the town, which is just amazing. So each town, of course, will also have a large Christmas tree in the town square, and obviously you would also have a Christmas tree at home. On Christmas Eve, so the Christmas Eve traditionally starts around 4 p.m., which is when it starts to get dark, and you light the tree, or maybe better said, the candles on the tree. Better not to light the tree itself. That evening, for the first time, traditionally, this was of course done with real candles, but because of fire hazards now, obviously we use mostly electric lights. And what families traditionally do is you start off by singing famous Christmas carols, and of course the most famous one is Stille Nacht, which is Silent Night, which was written in Austria in 1818. The decorations on the candle, oh my gosh, the decorations on the tree usually include also some sparklers, and for children, of course, the important decorations are some sweets and chocolates of various kind, jelly rings, and what we call Windbäckerei, which is meringue, usually in the form of rings or stars and shapes like that. And Austrian children don't believe in, we don't really have a Santa Claus like you would in the States, but you would have the Christkind, which is actually supposed to be like it's supposed to symbolize the newborn Christ, and it's described as a golden-haired child with wings. And so this Christkind brings the presents, and but most children also get presents from Saint Nicholas on December 6th. And this Saint Nicholas is also accompanied by Krampus, which is traditionally on December 5th, and he comes to the children that have not been good, and he's like a big horned monster clothed in rags, and he carries chains, and he's really, really frightening, and so he's meant to punish the children who have been bad. On Christmas Eve, the meal that used to be a tradition in Austria is a fried carp as the main course, because the Christmas Eve was considered a fasting day, and no meat should be eaten, especially if you're Catholic. And but these days it's more common to have a roast goose or a roast turkey instead. And for dessert, traditionally it used to be a chocolate or apricot cake, like the Sachertorte. Maybe you've heard of that. And of course there's a lot of Christmas cookies, like honey gingerbread, or very famous Vanillekipferl, which are almond cookies made in the shape of a horseshoe. And what you might actually know is in Austria, in Vienna, the capital, every year for New Year's it holds a world famous classical music concert, which actually takes place on New Year's Day, so January 1st. And it's held at the Musikverein, which is the concert hall of the Viennese Music Association. And it is played by the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra, and always features music from the Strauss family, and is famous for its waltz music. And during the last piece played, which is always the Blue Danube, the introduction is interrupted by applause from the audience, and the musicians then wish them a happy new year, and is shown, I don't know in how many countries, but in so many countries around the world, live on TV. Yeah, so there are more traditions, but these are the most famous ones, and I think most Austrian families still have most of these traditions. And my family had these when I was growing up, and I really, really cherished, or I still cherish these memories. And yeah, so these are a few facts about Austrian Christmas, and it's just a lovely, lovely season. So going back to the video now, so you can see I stamped the number 11 for day 11 on this little round tag that I made on this little, not little, but on this card, and I'm now just stamping a little border thingy on the bottom, and I'm stamping it on both sides because I wasn't sure how much I was going to write, if I would need the back side. Well, it turns out I didn't, but that's just fine. And here I'm just writing down a short version of what I just talked about. So that's it for today's spread. Hope you got some inspiration from this, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and hope if you're participating as well, I hope you are enjoying this December daily as much as I am. It's really kind of making me think about Christmas a lot more, and traditions we have, and it's a lovely way to document this season. So thank you for watching and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Tidings of a gospel true, that's rejoicing, free from sorrow, praises voicing, greet the